Welcome back. This video is going to show you how to set up a drawing once you've completed it and save it out as a DWG with your title block and layout set up with the proper, with it centered, with a proper scale. I'm also going to show you how to use the PDF function to actually create a PDF file that we can use within a mobile or web device. And those files are what we're really going to need to use when we get to the point of creating our electronic portfolio later on in the semester. So I'm sitting here right now at my layout, model space I mean. I'm going to come into layout. Now I've already done this just kind of pre-work. So I'm going to come in here, and so if your drawing is sitting here, you roll your mouse button, double click, and that's going to center the drawing. Now I need to come down here and actually change my scale. Now if you don't see scale here, come over to the three bars and click on the three bars and make sure that you've got scale set up and it's actually check marked. So I'm going to come into scale. I'm going to scale this 1 to 1. Ideally we want our drawings to be scaled 1 to 1 whenever possible. So you've got three layout spaces here. We've got size A, ANSI A, we've got ANSI B, and we've got ANSI C. So ideally we've got the three areas where we want to stay 1 to 1, but there are certain instances where we're not going to be able to scale it 1 to 1, so we're going to have to scale it to either 1 to 2, 1 to 4, or if we're doing an architectural drawing, 1 to 1 drawing from an architectural standpoint, we come back into scale and we're going to use like feet to inches to feet. So when we're doing an architectural drawing where your drawings are really large, then we're going to want to use a conversion technique and a scale associated with what type of drawing we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and leave this at 1 to 1. Model space, back to paper. I'm still in my layout as of A, and now I can actually hit save. It's going to save my drawing out. I could type in save as a command. It'll save as, or a Q save, which is another command line as we go through it. Now this is our DWG that we just created. So now we want to create a PDF. So I'm going to come up and hit my plot, which is right here. That's on the quick access toolbar. Or if I wanted to go to plot, I could actually click on my application icon, go to print, and plot. This is going to bring up a plot manager to plot things out. And right now, since I'm working from home, I don't have a printer set up for this particular template, so I need to select one. And when we create a PDF, we want to create a web version PDF. So down here, just click on the printer plotter, cursor down until you see AutoCAD, PDF, Web, and Mobile. This is what they call a .pc3 file within AutoCAD. Now, if you want to see what it looks like, because you're not sure, whether your drawing's set up right, if I go preview, it's going to show me what I will see once I create the PDF. This is also, if we were to print this out on a printer, this is what we would see. Now since we're using AutoCAD student versions, they're actually going to put a tagline around the border, which kind of messes our thing up a little bit, but that's just something we're going to have to deal with as we go through with this. So now that I've got it there, if I hit X, it's going to go back to here, to my setup, and if I say OK, it's going to say, well, where do you want to save this PDF to? Ultimately, I want to save this PDF to the same spot where I'm saving all my documents to, and where my DWG is actually located at. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go into exercises and I'm going to save. It's going to bring over your DP3-3 with the ANSI, because that's the actual layout that you're working from. So now I've actually done that. Now depending on how your computer's set up, it may launch, as it's doing here, your document in a PDF form. As you can see, close these out. This is exactly what we were seeing within AutoCAD, and as I stated earlier, if we were going to print this to a printer or plot it to a printer, this is what we would see on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in landscape, because 8.5 by 11 is ANSI size A. So that's actually completing the process of saving out, and then we just ultimately want to upload both those files to Blackboard. So that is actually the steps and procedures on how to actually save out your drawing as a DWG, and also create the layout within the appropriate layout box, whether it's size A, B, or C, how to center it, and how to do the scale and set the appropriate scale.